You're watching News at Prime. Let's bring you this now. The brutal killing of a beloved Kraaifontein school principal in the early hours of Thursday morning has sent shockwaves through the community. Western Cape Police have now launched a manhunt for 3 assailants who opened fire on occupants in a vehicle outside Ekuthuleni Primary School, injuring a passenger and fatally wounding the driver. Meanwhile, 18 suspects accused of their involvement in another fatal shooting in the area of Nyanga last week appeared in the Athlone Magistrate's Court today. Our reporter Latashia Naidoo covering both these stories for us, and she joins us live now. Latashia, good afternoon to you. You have got to explain to us how it is that crime is just not tapering down in the Western Cape, at least in some parts. How are communities reacting in these 2 areas?
Good afternoon, Xoli. Well, you know, the Western Cape high-spot crime areas like the Cape Flats, like in Nyanga, are filled with community members who feel as if they're being held to ransom, particularly in relation to gang-related crimes. Over the past few weeks, there seems to have been an uptick in really violent crime within the Western Cape and the Cape Flats area. Just last week, we saw the fatal shooting at the Nyanga taxi rank on the day that schools actually were about to reopen. 1 person fatally killed in a shootout, 7 injured, and this morning 18 of those people accused of that shooting at the Nyanga taxi rank last week appeared in the Athlone Magistrate's Court today. It was their second appearance. The first last week was for an identity parade. Now 19 people are actually accused of these crimes relating to murder, attempted murder, the deployment of a firearm in a municipal area, and malicious damage to property. But one of the accused is currently in hospital, having been injured in that shootout last week. And the majority of the accused are security guards, 15 of such belonging to 3 different security companies based in KZN. And they were deployed as taxi security, private security guards at the Nyanga taxi rank last week when the shooting happened. Now, the case has been adjourned until the 9th of May. All 19 accused are out on bail of 5,000 rand. If they're unable to pay that bail, they will be remanded back into custody until the 9th of May for the next appearance. But speaking to these brutal killings, this morning outside a primary school in Kraaifontein on the Cape Flats, a beloved school principal was gunned down in his vehicle at 7 a.m. as he was entering the schoolyard. Earlier, the reports were that his name was Mr. Kalala, but it's been rectified now. He's been identified as Dr. Jeffrey Sigudla, who has been the principal of Ekuthuleni Primary School in Kraaifontein for the past few years, a man described as the pillar of the community, a man who championed the cause of education for underprivileged communities, particularly the children of Kraaifontein, which we know is a community under siege by gangsterism. And he was brutally murdered in his vehicle while his wife sat next to him as they were entering the school premises. It's believed that she's a deputy principal at a school around the corner, and Dr. Sigudla was getting dropped off before she took the vehicle to go to her school nearby when 3 unknown assailants opened fire on him. Now, we've spoken to community members, we've spoken to members of the SGB who say that this death is a monumental loss to the community of a great man who was not afraid to stand his ground for the rights of the community. And there's been whispers that extortion may have played a role in his killing, but the Western Cape Police say that this investigation is ongoing. They've launched a manhunt for his killers and are appealing to anyone with information to come forward to assist their investigations. So a very bloody few weeks in the Western Cape with that upsurge in gang violence and gang-related murders, in taxi violence, particularly with regard to Nyanga. And of course, we'll be covering all these incidents and bringing our viewers up-to-date coverage of such. Back to you, Xoli.
Latashia Naidoo, thank you very much for that update. Although a very, very tragic story, in fact, two tragic stories. Thank you for the time being, though, Latashia Naidoo.